There you have it. It's map 1, completely dominated by Pacific here. And you know what? Maybe Penguin was right. This could be his last match. It definitely is starting to look that way.
Yeah.
Knowing Blackwidow is what's up next for them as potentially their last map at CFS. And the last time Pacific played it, it was a 10-2. So it's a tough series to try and come out of.
I mean, I'll be honest, like firepower-wise, I just feel like 3BL just can't compete with Macta. I mean, also Macta, they don't really have any weak point here on this roster. Even CYK, the IGL, stepping up multiple times to the plate. I mean, MVA was the MVP, I think, in the first match.
Yeah.
Didn't even have to show up today, just a point for KD.
Yeah.
But doesn't really matter because, yeah, they have Aldrin, Justin, the two key players, two decisive players in this matchup so far.
Yeah, very high KD, but also beyond that, a lot of big aggressive plays that got his team early kills, early information from both sides as well. Very great double-sided player, if you that's not how you would say that, but you know what I mean. Can play both sides of the map and had a great map. And I worry for 3BL on this next one going into Blackwidow. It's not going to be an easy task.
Definitely not. We'll see what they have in store for us, though. It is going to be Blackwidow coming up next after a short break. We'll see you there.
Top competitive Crossfire Esports World Championship Tournament.
Well, it was a quick 1-0 on the table for Pacific, and now we get ready for map number 2. It's going to be Blackwidow to decide the fate of 3BL, and it's not looking too good for them. I'd love to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I'm trying to find where that benefit might be. Do you guys see any world where somehow Blackwidow goes wrong for Pacific?
I mean, I have not much hope left for 3BL here. The good thing for 3BL is that Macta was always playing the same setup on Blacklist side, where they always sent like 3 players towards long B. They have Revenge, long A, and 0K in Blacklist space. They're playing like kind of reserved, like waiting for like 1 minute 30 seconds and then execute together. So if 3BL maybe have a good counter for this setup, they might have a slight chance. I mean, to be fair, Alucard is pretty strong on Blackwidow, especially against my team, unfortunately. And yeah, but Horus having a quiet game today, don't like to see it. Because Horus, you know, usually is one of the strongest rifles in West. Like, he has to step up. Okay, Totson got a nice 3K. Maybe now he will also be more confident on Blackwidow as well. But yeah, more than 10% chance, like not more than 10% chance for 3BL on this map. Unfortunately, I feel like it's almost over, unfortunately, for the Egyptian squad.
Yeah, I feel like my 15% at the beginning was pretty, was kind of accurate. I mean, I thought maybe we were going to see a little bit better on port, but now it really feels like that one was so one-sided. It just feels like Pacific Macta are a really, really strong team. So 3BL, unfortunately, you know, strong group. They come in, you got to face Baisha straight off the bat, and from there it's got a little bit easier, I guess, but not easy enough, I suppose. And unless, you know, reality hits them and they're like, oh crap, this is actually Penguin's last map. You know, it's not just last series, last map. Maybe they can put something together, but it's going to take a monumental effort, I would say. And, you know, maybe they can read into some of the strategies. They have seen this team play on this map before. Maybe you can throw in something, but yeah, it really does feel like they're kind of outgunned and outmatched in this one. So that just makes it even more difficult.
Yeah, at least for Penguin, I feel like he had a really good first map. I mean, he was the only positive KD player on his team, so you can tell he wants to go out on a high note if they do go down here, but they really need Hunt and Horus to step up. I feel like these two guys have been a little bit too quiet since their first match, and Horus, like you said, he's one of the best players always online in the West League, dominant rifler, and it's just not there, and maybe it's just the nerves, maybe it's being in a live event, but you've got to be able to step up when it matters most here, and it just seems like 3BL consistently isn't able to do that.
Right, I mean, it's also tough, you know, to have the best team mentality when you know your IGL will retire after this one, and you know Hunt will join a different team, Alucard will join Unnights in West, and you have Horus and Totson, which also will leave the team most likely. So it's tough, you know. Like, if I'm the IGL and I know my teammates will leave after this match, or like after this tournament, and I will retire, it's also tough when you like do callouts, and especially when the other team is always leading, like your callouts don't really work out. It's tough to have this respect from the teammates, and you can actually tell they don't even believe the IGL sometimes, you know, at some point, because like, okay, whatever, we're gonna join a different team next year anyway. This is this kind of feeling I get from watching 3BL at this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree with that. It feels like they've almost kind of thrown in the towel a little bit, but it can make it that much harder on you going into your future teams if this is the mentality you have. And the biggest event of the year, I mean, this is the pinnacle of competition for these players, and it's crazy to me. It's like they almost see the writing on the wall and they give up a little bit too soon.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that happens in a lot of esports as well, where it's like, towards the end of the year, it's when the biggest tournaments happen, but also it's when everybody's doing roster swaps and everybody's like trying to, you know, go to other teams. And yeah, there have been times where teams are supposed to be like the best in the world, and then all of a sudden things just don't quite work out because you just know like they're not really a cohesive unit anymore. Speaking about other, you know, esports, but for this as well, you can kind of see it with 3BL. I mean, it's rough. Like, this is the time where you have to be at your best, but it might be the time where maybe team cohesion is at its worst. So, a talented group of individuals, but I'm not sure that that's enough right now.
I think it's also not too smart to talk about roster changes right before the most prestigious tournament of the year, you know?
Yeah.
I think you should have this conversation after the tournament, but not before. Especially as an IGL, I can tell it's difficult to play with teammates when you actually know after this tournament they will leave my squad anyway. So this could be a big mistake for 3BL here at this event.
Yeah, it could be a tough one for them, but looking at the other side, it could be the start of a really good story here for Pacific. I mean, they're looking like a team that has a really good chance at going deep into this tournament, maybe even a top 4 finish. And, you know, if things work out in the bracket placements, I could even see a world where this is a finalist team. I think the big next step for them is going to be, maybe they weren't able to take down a Chinese team, but do you guys see them taking down some of these Brazilian teams? Because I feel like right now they very well could.
I think it's definitely possible. We'd have to wait and see how they do match up, but I also think the playstyle Pacific Macta is very balanced and very, I wouldn't even call it conservative, but it kind of feels like their foundation is very strong, and I don't think like a couple of guys on Brazilian teams coming out and getting very aggressive is really going to shake them at all. Even if it happens like 1 or 2 times, it's like, okay, well, that's what Imperial is known for. They're not really going to allow those teams to get a lot of momentum, I would feel, because it feels like they're always in it. They're always competitive, and they're just so talented. I mean, they came out and surprised a lot of us, maybe not 7, but definitely a really strong team, and I think the sky's the limit for them. I wouldn't even say that, you know, maybe in the future with best of 5s, they get another chance at like All Gamers or something. Who knows? You never know.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I'm convinced we're going to see Macta, Imperial alongside the 2 Chinese teams, AG and Baishan in the top 4. The issue I feel like is that it's double elimination and best of 5 as well. So I don't see Macta winning a best of 5 against a Chinese team unless it's X-Rock maybe. So most likely we're gonna see the same final as last year. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but this is just my prediction, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, but I would love to see one different region in the like 2 different regions in the final. Maybe a Filipino-Chinese final would be interesting to watch, or maybe even the Brazilian-Chinese final. But yeah, again, best of 5 against AG or Baisha, it's so difficult. The map pool is so deep. I mean, you can win Blackwidow against them, yes, but then you have to play Blackwidow, I mean, a compound, Ankara, Mexico, so unlikely to happen.
It is a tough road ahead for Pacific if they want to be in that final matchup here, but at the very least, this will secure them a spot in the next stage of this tournament, and potentially a good one for it. But we are ready to start our second map of this series. It is going to be Blackwidow as the decider here if Pacific can pull off a 2-0, and everybody seems to think that's the path this one's going to take. The 3BL, you know what? I'm hungry for an upset, guys. I would love to see them do something impressive here.
It would be nice to have an upset, wouldn't it, in a series, but it's got to start with one map. We'll see if they have what it takes to challenge Pacific Macta on Blackwidow. This Penguin's going to start off with, well, that didn't last very long. But, yeah, let's see how this one does go. As Pacific Macta starting off on the GR side, trying to put on some pressure into long, whereas on the other side, 3BL trying to take over water and potentially look for B.
Pretty interesting to note as well, both teams are running a double OM setup. You've got Hunt with an OM in hand, which is pretty uncommon of him. ZYK and Revenge on the other side as well. Trying to utilize those snipers for the early lane control. A lot of that focus has been on the midsection of the map for the side of 3BL, but for ZYK and Revenge, they're not too concerned with it, but Alucard actually gets that first kill onto MVA, takes his OM into the B side and gets it done. And even though it's a little bit of a slower play style out of 3BL, I kind of like how they're setting up here.
Let's see how this push goes. Revenge getting that early information, but Hunt with the wide swing. Revenge getting pretty low as he is not going to hit the shot. 3BL starting off very strong here on this round. Issue, I think, is this happened a lot on port as well, where they would get, you know, at least the one early pick and then sometimes struggle to finish off the execution. Let's see if they got this prepared for Blackwidow. Here comes Tonson on in there as Aldrin going to wait behind the truck, waiting for his moment. He gets the one, but only the one. And now it's all up to ZYK.
Wow, I mean, another one on the board here. 3BL, not how I expected them to start off this map, but I'm liking what we're seeing here. The double OM setup to get that extra coverage gave Alucard that opportunity to kind of go in towards the B side, find that early pick, and I don't think Pacific was necessarily ready for that.
Yeah, Revenge had this key position here towards Barracks area, but for some reason he was whiffing 2 shots, which is really rare to see from this guy.
man. Another quick round. Horus, Hunt. These are the guys we wanted to step up, and so far in this map, they are doing it. They got the 2 entries between them, and now they've got the bomb side as well. Totson takes down Revenge. Alucard, though, he had the bomb in hand, and that is going to be a really unfortunate place to drop that bomb, even knowing it is still a 1-on-3 here as Horus finds a second.
ZYK kind of in an interesting spot with the 1v3 with the bomb, and now he's just trying to check all the way behind and actually get behind the members of 3BL, maybe expecting them to run through mid, but they have gone all the way through B. So a little bit of ring around the rosy here as ZYK is continuing to chase them and has left the bomb where it dropped. Not exactly directly defending that one just yet in the odd man situation. Let's see where he wants to go with this. He is... might look down right as Totson passes through. Not quite, actually. Just barely going to miss the timing. And now, yeah, he's just going to be isolated. Didn't know exactly where to look. And that's 2 rounds in a row now to the side of 3BL.
Yeah, Hunt looks happy. You can tell these guys, they don't feel any pressure anymore. Nothing to lose anymore. And yeah, this kind of loose play style is working out for 3BL right now.
Yeah, they've got everything they need so far if they can keep it up. I'm expecting Pacific to maybe change pace here in this 3rd round. You can see Aldrin moving into the B connector, trying to find someone on the back side of the bridge, but they're not going to give them anything just yet. 3BL playing pretty reserved, but Pacific playing a lot more forward in mid and B this round, and it could be a good change of pace.
Yeah, let's see if 3BL can manage to string together another one. MVA up here, but a pretty forward grenade might tip them off. 3BL taking their time with this one. Aldrin considering poking his head out at the same time as they pop out the entry from Horus. This time it's good. Did they spot Aldrin? Yes, they did. Another headshot to come in, and 3BL are kind of rolling over them here as another clean entry comes through.
Yeah, I mean, of all the teams to potentially contest Pacific in this way on this map, I would have never guessed 3BL could do it, but so far, they are doing it very well, and you can see the pause already called from Pacific here for this break point. And I don't blame them. I mean, it's a 4-on-1. Penguin, he's going to get caught out here. Actually takes it down to a 1-on-2 situation for Justin. The bomb yet to be planted, so Pacific maybe they can steal this round away after all. Justin, he's going to have a chance to peek onto the planter, and this could actually be huge. Horus, he's going to go down as well, but thankfully Hunt able to get it done. It's 3 in a row to kick off Blackwidow for Pacific. This is not the team we were expecting on this map.
Yeah, I like the move from Justin. They're almost getting the 1-on-3 clutch, but also instant entries from Horus, finally stepping up. This is what I want to see from this guy, because yeah, I'm also used to it. Playing against him, unfortunately, gets lots of entries also against my team. So this guy is feeling it right now on Blackwidow. The only downside I feel like for 3BL is they're usually strong on Blacklist, you know, on Blackwidow, but the GR set doesn't seem too strong, I feel like. They need at least 5 to 6 rounds on Blacklist to have a shot on the specific map. And also Macta, right? They look much stronger on Blacklist as well.
Mm-hmm. I think Macta are going to take a little time here and say, okay, well that was a bit of a fluke. We didn't play those out very well. They're coming at us really strong and fast, so let's try to you know, readjust. I mean, just really fantastic entry shot there from Horus, hopping on through the smoke. Nice try from Justin. Wasn't meant to be. It was 3-0 in favor of 3BL. But yeah, I think Pacific Macta, they just slow things down. They go back to standard play and maybe try to read a little bit better where exactly 3BL are coming in from.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's going to come down to how they decide to play this next round. If they go down 4-0, it's probably a pretty winnable map at this point for 3BL. Pacific, they may have overestimated their abilities in this one, knowing it's a strong map for themselves, knowing what happened in that first map, maybe just playing with too much overconfidence in this situation. But 3BL also, the shots are there. Horus already 5-2 in this matchup. Hunt as well, 3-1. Totson hitting those connections. They're going to put their efforts again early on towards this B bomb site. Horus and Totson taking A lot of nade damage, down to about half HP each. ZYK as well, though, down to about 20.
Yeah, you can see Pacific Macta considering getting in their face outside here once again, but instead they just throw some nades back away. And they're going to hold on to, again, just kind of standard defensive positioning for now. They got Revenge back here in the window. That's going to be a big start-off kill for him. And Hunt immediately with the long-range headshot. Very nicely done to trade that one back. Horus is in there for now. ZYK going to come back here, pick up the sniper, and try to hold this angle for the team.
Yeah, ZYK, he really wants that secondary shot to go through on the It's not going to happen, though. Picks up the AK. The bomb's still sitting here just outside of B, but Penguin, he's going for kind of a lurk over towards A long, but there's just no commitment here. 3BL, they're very nervous in this position to make a move.
Hey, you got to make it eventually. Maybe just trying to burn out the clock just a little bit. Penguin way in the back there. Would assume that his teammates are going to push into B here in just a moment, and maybe he'll try to catch any flankers that are coming in, and they can hold the room and defend from there. Let's see how they do want to go for this. His flash is, I think that was a flash actually from PM on A. As now ZYK is like, huh, where are they? I guess they really didn't rotate at all. And this doesn't look like an A push at all. 20 seconds as they try to push out of the room immediately. MVA still behind the box, and they have not rooted him out. He is going to delay this push immensely. Picks up a couple. Justin is helping out, and now this push has totally been squashed. That is going to be Pacific Macta picking up their first round.
Yeah, great play from MVA here. Buying time for his teammates to rotate. What a hold from this guy. I mean, basically he didn't get any support right in the first 5 seconds because ZYK thought for 1 second it might be A execute towards A short. Then right in time, the teammates fortunately rotated towards bomb site B. So first one on the board for Pacific Macta.
Yeah, even then it felt like 3BL, they still had the start of round they were looking for there. They just couldn't find a way to get that execution to go their way. Justin, though, he is in a very forward position in the middle of this map, and if they don't check this, it could be punishing, but Penguin hits the tap. He is ready for it. They are all hitting the shots on the 3BL side in this map, and you know what? Maybe all it took was backs against the wall. They've got to prove everything and make it happen. Maybe a little pressure off here, knowing it could be the end, and they're showing up.
Aldrin not rooted out of this spot. Alucard about to back into this. That's a free kill for him. And this push is about to maybe slow down quite a bit as they do turn around and take him down. And now it's all up to Revenge, who is alone in the middle of the map. Also, Penguin holding this other angle. He's kind of been playing out a little bit wonky and a little bit away from his team. And yeah, he's going to do a little bit of damage here to Revenge, who has a lot on his shoulders to try to pull this one off. Not looking too likely. Will get the kill onto Penguin, but then immediately falls down to Tatsu.
Yeah, it's already a 4-1 game. I'm getting a little bit nervous for Pacific, but it kind of goes back to what I was saying in day one about this team. I feel like they're one of the few teams I would say could beat or lose to any team in this bracket in a given map. So I feel like the inconsistency is starting to show itself a little bit more, and it makes me nervous for their future in this tournament if they can't find a way to claw back here.
Well, Horus kind of going on an adventure straight into the arms of two members, Aldrin and Justin, holding the catwalk, and kind of an unfortunate timing to push into those two, who have been quite solid so far. So now let's see if 3BL can claw around back from down a member, which hasn't really been the way this map has been going so far. They generally have been in the lead.
Yeah, they've had all of the numbers advantages for the most part here. Revenge, though, taken down by Hunt with an arm in hand. Not something you see every day there, but he's making it work for his team, and now they've got a chance to win a numbers down situation against Pacific on port. That wouldn't have happened, but now I'm starting to believe here in this second map of the series. Alucard, he's creeping his way up the catwalk. We can see here it is going to be A tough one. Justin holding the off angle on the back of the pyramid stack here, just kind of toying with them. But again, the OMS will pay off for the side of 3BL. It is going to be a 3-on-3 situation now, and they have full control over the A bomb site.
Yeah, kind of interesting how they slinked their way into this one. Todson's got a nice play underneath Catwalk, trying to trade that one. And there's another snipe from Alucard. They are holding on to this site. It is 5-1 in favor of 3BL. And these guys finally woke up, like I was saying before. And you can see that Horus, a lot of the first places here for the Team Penguin and Hunt as well. It is all 3BL the entire way across.
Yeah, I mean, Horus and Hunt stepping up has been the real difference that they needed in this map. If these two guys can continue to entry frag like they are, this is a really winnable series for them, considering Penguin, he looked pretty good in the first map. Alucard's been good all day long here, but Revenge, if he can come to life, they might have a chance to hold them off. But look at this, Totson, the double kill entry. Hunt finds another on to Aldrin, and Justin is going to be caught here on long, but he wins the fight against Penguin. But it is still another numbers down situation for Pacific Macta.
This is a very interesting map so far. Pacific Macta have not been able to pull it together at all. And 3BL, just reckless abandon has worked out for them. They have gone for great executes. They're playing as a team. I don't know what got into them, but maybe they eventually realized that they got to do it for Penguin. 6-1. And that's already a healthy amount of rounds to take here on the Blacklist side, but even potential for a couple more.
That's actually the first time that we see Hunt stepping up to the plate, right? So this could be the game changer for 3BL because, like I said, he had a quiet tournament so far, but maybe Blackwidow might be the game changer for this squad because they played it for the first time at this event.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have expected this on this map, but for them so far, it has looked incredible. On the other side for Pacific, not so good. Justin able to find one. At least they get the trades advantage out of this. 4-on-3 now. The catwalk push pretty much shut down, and now they've got to go back to the drawing board here. It is going to be MVA and Revenge who find another on to Totson in the B box room. A 4-on-2, and now finally a good looking round on the table for Pacific Macta. Hunt, he's left alone in a 1v4, but I think this is finally a round 3BL's not going to be able to win.
Yeah, kind of interesting to see that finally they have run out of steam. It hasn't necessarily been the storyline for them so far at this tournament. CFS Grand Finals. Hunt with the Alm again. He is 7-2. I mean, things are going well. How long is he going to hold on to playing this weapon with the team? I suppose as long as it continues to work, although this round might throw them for a loop. He's really taking his time checking every single angle. Looks like he did not see Revenge there.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there's going to have to be an aggressive play from Hunt to make something happen with that bomb down. He's able to find one onto MVA, but may not be enough. 13 HP left to work with, and now they know exactly where he is. All they've got to do is trade. 30 seconds on the clock. You can see Hunt here trying to reposition to find them through the mid window. He actually spots, I believe, ZYK's shoulder peak there on the left side of B connector, but it's still a pinch. He's walking right into ZYK, secures the round, and it's a 6-2 game on our hands here. But Seven, you told us all along how this is Pacific's map. What is going wrong in your eyes for them to lead to this point?
I mean, they tried both approaches, right? They played aggressive, didn't work out. They also played passive, didn't work out. I just feel like Hunt is hitting his shots, as well as Alucard, as well as Horus stepping up to the plate. And yeah, this round could be a neck breaker, right? Because if they get a 7-2 scoreline, it might be just enough to close out this map. I mean, after 2-7 lead, it's really tough, you know, to start a comeback. Even though it's Blacklist sided, I feel like if they win this round 3BL, they might take Blackwidow. We're gonna see compound.
Justin there, though, that's a good start. He's looking for more. He's gonna find it. Gets the double kill. Revenge there for the third and the bomb, and there you have it. Pacific starting to come to life as they pull on to the 4-on-1.
Yeah, not sure. I mean, maybe they just weren't expecting this level of play from 3BL, and they got caught off guard. They took a timeout after the third round, and that didn't really help. But they finally were able to piece together a couple of rounds here right at the end. It was 6-1. Now it's 6-3. Maybe a little bit of momentum going over the side of Pacific. As you see, still the majority of these stats are in favor of actually Totson. Out of all of the players that have been putting it up, MVA is the one guy up there for the side of Pacific Macta. As now, Alucard going to get it started here. Out of the B box room, gets a snipe off. And yeah, that's a good way to try to stem the tide here early after a couple of rounds to go the way of PM.
Again, the entries for 3BL just on point in this matchup. Everybody hitting the shots when they need to. They've got themselves a 5-on-3. ZYK, Justin, Aldrin trying to pick up the pieces. They still have control over the bomb, but they've done a good job of reading into this map setup. And we talked a little bit about this before the map as well, that they have this tendency to play the 3-1-1 on the side of Pacific. And 3BL, because they're hitting these shots, they're not afraid to aggressively peek into that setup.
I think Macta is also quite surprised by the aggressive approach from 3BL here. The Penguin was pushing up towards long A, which is quite unusual.
Yeah, it does feel very strange for this team. Aldrin trying to pressure in here as well. Alucard's still holding that angle. Not going to take anyone down, but this push has been stifled for now. Grenade not going to be there, but Penguin from behind going to pick him off. And now it's all up to Justin. And he's being surrounded. There's multiple members in front of him. He's got Penguin behind. He's just going to be shot from the side as Horus comes in as well. 3BL, they pick up their first GR side round. The first one of the half. And yeah, definitely a pretty good look for them, even from the opposite side.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like at this point they might just have what it takes to close it out. Pacific, they don't have any answers in these start of round plays. It is going to be this time around Aldrin and Revenge getting the best of it. Aldrin, big double kill here to hold on to it for Pacific. Now Totson is left alone. 1 versus 4. Able to spot the first player, takes down Revenge, but the trade is right there. Aldrin picking up 3 on the round, and Pacific finally getting a confident round to go their way, but they still have a lot of work to be done to tie this one up.
Actually, so many times that 3BL had a good start into this matchup, right? Like many times they were leading like 5-2, 6-3. So I see the potential that we're gonna see in overtime once again, like we saw before when 3BL was facing, Carahouse right on port.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're gonna see one more overtime today.
Wouldn't surprise me too much to see it go that way. I feel like 3BL, they might be able to squeeze by up to 9 here, but getting that 10th on the board against Pacific is going to be a little bit harder in this situation. Just knowing Pacific, this is kind of their fight to guarantee a number 2 spot, and they're starting to let that one slip just a little bit. And this is their map pick after all here. And they won the first map, 10-4, but this time around, a completely different story. Aldrin trades on to Penguin as Revenge goes down, so a good little 1-for-1 here, but Pacific not really fully committing to this fight. They don't want to go into it just yet, but Hunt, he still has the angle here to take the challenge. There's 3 players ready to peek onto this position, but there is some hesitation here. I'm not sure what they're trying to do here on this box, but it doesn't seem to be working quite well enough just yet, but now they've got what they were looking for here for the jump peek, and it's going to be Hunt who finds the first. Hunt, what is that second shot? He gets the triple kill. Insane shots being hit there from Hunt, and now MVA is just left alone in this one. But Hunt, where was this guy all along? He has come to life in map number 2.
Insane free pace from this guy. I felt like for 1 second he was blind, right? He still got this flick shot onto CYK and also on Aldrin.
I mean, he had the ability the entire time. We know what he's capable of, but we unfortunately were not able to see it for quite a while. But he is coming out here now. Penguin getting a lot of support from his team as well. They will hold strong on A long this time. unlike a couple of the other rounds. But yeah, a couple of arm shots here from the side of Penguin. Now they're trying to push in here. The flash is actually perfect. And they do kind of get caught out here, do 3BL. And so Pacific Macta trying to force it in through A long. It kind of works out for them by the end of it, although ZYK is getting pretty aggressive, trying to catch any stragglers out here while you see Revenge on the minimap all the way into B and is alone there for now.
Not every day, though, you see a 2-on-2 with 3 arms on the table. Penguin going to be trying to snipe his way to the win in this one. Revenge sneaking around in mid. The timing, though, could be everything. I think Penguin might have had a chance to spot him there, but actually they walk right past each other onto the opposite sites, and this is actually going to create kind of a false sense of security now for ZYK, who's moving in with the bomb. It's all going to come down to Penguin in this position, but he doesn't hit the shot. ZYK takes him down. Alucard now left in the 1v2. He's had a lot of clutches on the day so far, but now more than ever would be a huge one.
Yeah, it's going to be all up to him, but this is, this is Alucard Central. He's going to hit that first one. ZYK looks like he's pretty forward, wants to challenge the sniper. Nice timing on the swing right when Alucard moves into the room and is looking out the windows. And ZYK will just barely hold on to that one for Pacific Macta, giving them still a chance, even after this round started off pretty favorably for 3BL with a couple of snipes from Penguin.
Yeah, I feel bad for Penguin. I mean, it's pretty rare to see this guy picking up the arm and even getting 2 kills. But yeah, Macta still managed to turn this round to their favor.
Yeah, I mean, a really solid round for Pacific, but they need it at this point. There is really no room for error if they want to take this series 2-0. And ultimately, even if they give a map up here, it could potentially impact their seeding in that number 2 slot going into the next stage of this tournament. So if they could find a way to pull the 2-0, it would definitely be a big benefit for them to do so. But 3BL, this is kind of their last hope in the tournament, and so far they are showing us they still have that fight left in to maybe make it in for that wild card spot. And what a story that would be if they could somehow push themselves all the way there, but it has to start in securing these final 2 rounds.
Yeah, definitely not an easy task. Aldrin is kind of in a sketchy spot here. I mean, Alucard has been checking this angle for quite a while. They're going to throw a smoke in and a flash over the top, trying to challenge the sniper on the side of 3BL as Alucard just has to back away. The entry works out. They get Alucard on the backside as well. And Pacific Macta throwing in an interesting strategy mid and B. And the pause is going to come out here from 3BL. They want to hold on to this lead, but this round looks very heavily in favor of Pacific Macta, although Aldrin was kind of in no man's land. Does get sniped out there by Hunt, who does attack him. ZYK going to get the drop here on Horus as well. And it's kind of up to Penguin and Hunt, the brothers, to try to take this back.
It's going to be Hunt already going down. Justin gets the double kill. And Pacific seem like they're right back in this one now. The BL side looking a lot stronger for them than what we saw in the first half. 3BL, this is their chance, though, to hold on to the lead. They've played so well up until this point, but this is where that high-stakes pressure can really give a team like Pacific the advantage right back. They're way more comfortable in this type of situation in a match because they have that experience on this roster. Someone like Hunt is coming in fresh and brand new to this type of situation, and it's not easy when you have 8, as we've seen, to get those last 2 rounds on the board because there's so much pressure when you feel like you're right in front of that finish line.
Yeah, it feels like it's a classic 3BL match. Usually 3BL is always good beginning of matches, but when it comes to the rounds at the end, when matters the most, they're always having a hard time closing out maps, I feel like, also in online tournaments. So let's see how it goes. I have the feeling we're gonna see an overtime, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely likely at this point. I feel like Pacific, they're playing a much stronger game in the second half. 3BL, though, I would say they're still hitting some really strong shots here across the board. If they can keep that up, there's still a chance they could scrape by and find these last couple of rounds. But I feel like strategically, they also don't have the same game plan on this side of the map as well.
Well, 10 seconds left in this timeout. I hope that it was enough for 3BL to get back on the horse, because Pacific Macta finally taking them a while to get into this map, it feels like, but they have got there. You see that Justin taking over that multi-kill first place for the team as it slowly tips back towards Pacific Macta. And yeah, let's see what the strategy is now from 3BL after the timeout. There was a lot of action on A long for like 2-3 rounds there, but now it just looks like Pacific Macta want to totally ignore it and hand that one over to 3BL and look for other options. Worked out great in the last round.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them for continuing to move their efforts to other parts of the map. I feel like Pacific, they've got a really strong B execute. It wouldn't surprise me to see that come out a few more times here. You can see they're already going for that kind of classic setup, the 3 players taking control of B long early on. This time, though, they've got Aldrin a little bit more forward towards the mid double doors, but they have to be careful. Alucard in this position is going to continue to be a threat.
Aldrin, yeah. Still playing with that fire. And just playing right at the doors. Not a lot of information, I feel, gathered by just hanging out there, but it does look like in that case, they might once again go for a bit of a push if he does stick around. But actually, Bomb now going up towards Catwalk as the rest of the team actually going to maybe pushing it A long. It looks like an A hit inevitably from this kind of angle as 56 seconds, and they got to go for it.
Yeah, it's really to come down to what ZYK does in this kind of lurk position on long. If he can keep these players from crossing back onto the bomb side, it could be a lot of value. Revenge gets the opening kill onto Alucard as well. That's a completely open bomb site for them to work with. Totson, he's now rotating underneath the Catwalk, but Aldrin, he's in a great position to catch him off guard, takes him down. Penguin at least secures the trade here, but now it's up to these 2 players on long. They've got to find an opening soon. You can see Horus and Hunt, they're trying to use that utility to get back in, but look at Penguin from down low. What a headshot onto Revenge, and now that potential is on the table to pull off this retake.
This could be their moment. This could be where 3BL take over the map as, okay, Justin is holding on to the back behind the truck. ZYK's got this angle as well, and Justin, he's still alive, he's still hanging on as he's being chased with a pistol, and Horus, does he have enough time? No, he started it a little bit late, and even so, it is going to explode. Pacific Macta holding on for dear life. Justin just running away, trying to buy as much time as possible, and it works out.
This is where it gets crazy close. I mean, these rounds are truly anyone's for the taking at this point, but Pacific getting a lot of them now back to back puts that extra pressure onto 3BL to get it done themselves. Otherwise, it could be a tie already, and if Pacific gets 8 before 3BL gets 9, they could still win this one after all, even in regulations. So 3BL, it'd be a shame to see all the work they've done on this map kind of go to waste in the last moments just because they can't solidify those last 2 rounds. But I do like the adjustments we're seeing from Pacific as well. I feel like they're doing a really good job of figuring out where these players are playing solo and immediately just bursting aggression onto those positions.
Let's see if Pacific Macta can continue with this momentum that they have behind them. That last one was a real challenge. Totson in the back. That's a big kill for him. We'll trade at least one. Allows now Alucard to try to poke out. Is not going to hit the shot, though. Still making it 4-on-4, and Justin, big trade onto Alucard. Not much of a trade, actually. Just 1 for 0. Picks him off as he's trying to get out. And now the pressure onto B is going to be coming in. Even one guy, Aldrin, going to be hanging out at the doors, trying to catch any stragglers that are looking to rotate. And keep an eye on him as Hunt trying to enter here. Penguin is going to spot him in the middle of the map, but this C4 will be planted.
Yeah, 3BL, they still have 2 players on the A bomb site, so this rotation is going to be pretty slow. And they still have to deal with Aldrin in the middle of this map, who's just going to wrap around and wait to play spoiler on that B connector rotation. So now they have to go in through the doors as a team very quickly here. Horus, though, gets onto site with Penguin, who gets the first. Hunt finds the second. They take it down to the 2-on-2. Revenge misses the shot, but still gets the follow-up. But Horus, he's already on the bomb. But it doesn't matter, just in time. Again, Pacific, it is down to a matter of seconds. But they're making it happen for themselves, and it's already back to a tie.
And that's what I meant before. 3BL always having a hard time closing out these maps. And especially on the GRC, they look much weaker. And it feels like, you know, they have something to lose now. That's why also they changed the approach, playing more passive, which could be a crucial mistake.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part. And they're trying to come out here and get aggressive once again. We'll see if this works out for them. It is pretty close, still 4-on-4. Totson still out there with his buddy Horus on the left. You see Justin trying to find the right angle, and he gets up there right at the exact right time. Horus will trade one, but MVA underneath. He's not going to expect that push. And now 3v2 with the bomb over here. Alucard is trying to hold on to that B box push. And they may just not go for it yet. It's still a little early for both of these two teams to get this bomb planted. So they're going to take their time and maybe look for a rotation.
Even though it is a numbers down situation, they do have Alucard and Penguin here to work with, which is probably who you'd want in this 2-on-3 if you're 3BL. ZYK also going to go down in the middle of the map here, but Penguin is not ready for the drop down from Aldrin on the trade. Now Alucard looking for another 1v2. Can he do it? Gets the first on to Aldrin, takes it down to the 1-on-1. MVA only around 30 HP remaining as well. If Alucard can maybe find an M4 or an AK to pick up, it could make it a little bit easier on him for this potential retake. You can see MVA now working his way to plant this bomb on the B bomb site. Alucard, though, has a lot of ground to cover once this bomb gets planted. He's pretty far away, but he does have full utility to work with.
I think for some reason Alucard does not know that MVA is low HP, otherwise he would just stick to the cold. Okay, what he's doing now at least. Switching up to the AK rifle. Good decision.
Yeah, definitely a good call here. MVA just playing underneath the window, trying to stall down this clock. He's already taken half off of it. Alucard, he's got to move a little bit quicker than that, but MVA, he snuck into the other side of the B window, and that could be everything in this round. He's just going to have to go for it. I don't even think there's enough time at this point. Time is up. Oh, what a way to go down. Time has not been on the side of 3BL. Has Pacific find a 9th.
Yeah, Alucard known for being incredibly clutch, but almost checking way too many angles. Very nice hiding spot, I suppose, from the side of MVA, but Alucard didn't exactly do enough to force him out of the hole that he was in. So at the end of the day, he just sits and waits for the defuse, but the defuse never comes in, so it's just a free win for MVA. Low on health, and now potentially the last round. As Horus, he's going to keep them in this one. Need to tie it up to force overtime. Is it going to be enough to get them across the line? For now, it's 4v4. And it's anybody's game from here still.
Yeah, I feel like now the momentum is just in the hands of Pacific. I mean, they've won 5 rounds already back-to-back to get to this point. You would have thought if 3BL was going to close it out, it would have happened by now. This is kind of just their last stand here, and you can see they are going to take a risk in this position. 3 players pushing up A long, only that solo hold of Alucard towards the B bomb site. They don't have a whole lot of information coming out of this play just yet. It's going to be a full execution coming up towards this B bomb site from Pacific. There's really no defense to make this one happen for 3BL, so the gamble might not necessarily pay off if Pacific goes this direction.
How we do see this push coming in. Penguin and Horus trying to catch someone out, but Penguin spotted. Horus incredibly low. I mean, that's like 3 HP at this point in time, so 4v4, but you're looking for a pick in mid. It doesn't quite work out. They're very spread out as well. A couple of guys over towards the B side trying to defend, but as we know, bit of a slow push coming in through Catwalk. Pacific Macta not scared to use the entirety of this time limit. Horus and Totson here, and a big rotation coming in as well. Just barely could be on time. Let's see the defense. Horus is going to trade one as Alucard gets one, but he's taken out before he can get in the window, and it's only Totson who is going to tap onto the one head, but he is so low and he's got to take out both of these guys.
Spots ZYK though behind the pillar. ZYK down to half, but Totson 12 HP and a dream. The map on the line. Pacific, they're gonna do it though. 6 rounds back to back to win it in regulation. 10-8.